gentlemen, boys and girls, I rarely tell story times as much as I used to. So today I'm going to be blessing you guys with a nice, beautiful story time that I can't seem to get out of my head. I was telling this story to some people I worked with. They laughed, and I figured, why not share this story with my own audience as well? And this, as you guys see in the title, is Why I Hate Lemonade. I hate it. Absolutely despise it. And it's because of something that happened when I was a lot younger. So a lot of you guys may or may not have heard in my live streams at twitch.tv/JamesBRAYGANG, but I grew up in a very strict household, very, very strict household. My parents were incredibly strict. They would not let us hang out with our friends at all. We had to, do a bunch of chores, which is fine. It's totally normal. But we also got like things like additional homework to do at home as well. So we had homework from school, but our parents would go us out of their way to make us do additional homework so that we were prepared for the world once we got, older and ready for college and stuff like that, which, was okay. But there were some interesting punishments they had for things that we did or didn't do. That did not align with our parents' ideals and stuff. If we didn't do what they were telling us to do, so they could range anywhere from us getting beat pretty bad to very interesting consequences. They call them creative solutions. And now I know you guys are probably like, oh my God, this got dark really quick, James. No, just you wait. So one of the rules in the house was we were not allowed to go into the refrigerator to get any food without asking. We had to ask first before even opening the refrigerator. There were four of us, technically five, with myself included, of like the siblings and stuff like that. And we were always like hungry, running around and stuff like that. We just wanted, a snack here and there or whatever. So when my parents weren't looking, we would open the fridge and we would get like a little snack, and then we would be good. We would be happy. So one fateful day, my mom made some really good lemonade, and she put it in the fridge. She covered it up and everything, and she kind of put it in the back so no one could get it, right? So I'm like, oh, lemonade, let's go. So I was excited because lemonade was one of my favorite things in the entire world, man. Like, I mean, that was damn near better than a slice of heaven, So I grabbed the lemonade. I pour like just enough to where I thought she wouldn't notice that the lemonade level had been taken down a little bit. So just maybe like a little bit less than a half a glass of lemonade I poured for myself. And I sipped it, and I'm like, oh, man, this tastes so good. And the best part was I never got caught. So I'm like, awesome. Coast is clear, whatever. So then my sister, she saw that I was getting lemonade from the fridge. She's like, hey, I heard, Mom making lemonade yesterday and stuff like that. And she really, doesn't want us touching that. She just doesn't want us touching that. And I'm like, okay, but she doesn't know that I got it, you know what I mean? Like, I'm good. So, you know what they say. Typically, if you get away with something once, people get greedy and they do it over and over and over again until eventually they get caught. And that's what happened with me. I kept going in the fridge, when no one was around and stuff, and I kept pouring myself a teensy bit of lemonade and everything. And things were going really good, really, really good. I was, oh, man, big old W right here, man. This story, I had to have been about 12. I was 12 years old at this time. So I remember getting home from school, and my mom was just angry. She was always angry, honestly. If I'm being real with you, she was always angry. But she was particularly angry today, And I'm like, I wonder what's wrong. I mean, I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? I don't care. So I was going to do my own thing. And then I get called. She's like, James. And I'm like, whoa. What's going on here? What's going on? So she calls me, and she was upstairs in her room. And by the way, if she ever calls any of us to her bedroom, it's like a horrible crucifying council. You're being put on the chopping block. It's damn near as bad as what they had back in the day, where they would put people's heads in the guillotine and just They would have like the king read off some crazy scripture before the person's head got cut off. Like if you ever step foot in my parents' bedroom and they were talking to you from the bedroom, you were in trouble. So I already knew I'm in trouble, but I don't know for what, because I know I didn't get caught with the lemonade stuff. So anyways, I go into my mom's room. Mom was like, "Hey, I made some lemonade." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I saw. You know, yeah, I saw. Okay, cool. Why am I here? You know." So she's like, "Yeah," and I've noticed that someone else has been drinking that lemonade. I'm like, "Oh man, there's so many culprits." You know, I mean, there's like 8 people in the house. You know, there's the 5 siblings. You know, myself and my little brothers and stuff like that. And then you got my dad. My aunt was living with us, so she could have been the culprit. I mean, it could have been any of us. And he's like, "Yeah," but funny story is, you know, your dad and your aunt were with me most of the time. And then your siblings, I don't think it was them, because the lemonade was on the top shelf of the fridge. And I'm like, okay. So she's like, "Well, that eliminates a bunch of suspects. I mean, I don't think it was your sister, you know, because she barely eats and stuff. So I don't think it was your dad. And the only other tall person in the house is you. So did you drink the lemonade?" And I'm like, "Nah, no, of course not." She's like, "Did you drink the lemonade?" And I looked dead in her eyes, in her augen, you know what I'm saying? And I said, No, I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. Nope. That's weird. Might want to talk to dad about that. He probably low key got one past you or something. Probably slid some sneaky skills past you and took a sip. She's like, "Okay, all right." And I'm like, "That's it?" Normally there's like, you know, a back and forth and like, you know, I get yelled at for something. But today was different. Your boy got off the hook. She sent me on my way. So I'm like, cool, you know? And so I'm like, man, that was close. I don't know what is tipping her off, but I got to get creative, you know? So what I did was I did the exact same thing I had always been doing. I just waited a couple days. I'm like, all right, cool. Lemonade was still in the fridge. It was a bit low like it was when we had that conversation. But I poured myself another glass. And then, you know, I'm like, all right, let me chill out. A couple days, and I'm not gonna drink any more lemonade. You know, I'm gonna wait, because I used to love lemonade. Okay, so, 2 days later, I'm like, it's lemonade time. Okay, it's lemonade time. So I go in the fridge, and to my surprise, the lemonade, you know, jar or lemonade, like, you know, container was filled back up to the top, to the brim. And I'm like, oh, we hit the jackpot. Lemonade jackpot. So, of course, I'm excited, and I don't think twice. I'm like, oh, man, let me go ahead and pour myself a glass of lemonade. Pour myself some lemonade. I actually got a little greedy because, man, it's been 2 days. I'm like, man, lemonade, lemonade, you know? So I was pouring myself a glass of lemonade. I was sipping on it. And this time it tasted different. I'm like, man, was somebody sleeping when they made this? It doesn't taste like it has any sugar. It tastes kind of bitter. Like, what's up with this, man? Maybe it's my taste buds. Maybe I don't like lemonade all of a sudden anymore. But I know I like lemonade because what I did to test and see if I like lemonade, I made my own cup of lemonade by myself from scratch. I got lemon juice. I got water. I poured it, you know, in my own cup, right? I put some sugar in it. I stirred it around, drank it, and I'm like, dang, this tastes good. But what's up with this? Like, this tastes nasty. So I'm like, maybe this just needs more sugar. So I poured sugar into the abomination I was drinking from the fridge. It still didn't taste good. So I poured that thing out. I'm like, well, all right, well, maybe it's just a bad batch. You know, maybe it's just a bad batch. So next day, I do the same thing. I go back over there. I'm like, all right, maybe my taste buds are just messed up. I don't know what I'm tasting. I grabbed the lemonade container, poured it in a cup, and then I tasted it. I'm like, all right, well, it has like a hint of lemonade taste in there, but it was just bitter. Like, it was really bitter, yo. Really bitter. It tasted like something was messed up with this lemonade. You know what I mean? So that was day 2 of me trying this batch of lemonade. Day 3, I get home from school Once again, you could imagine I got called upstairs by my mom. But this time, it was my mom and my aunt that were in the room waiting for me. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? She's like, oh, so you remember the conversation we had the other day about the lemonade? I'm like, yeah. She's like, yeah, well, I really think you're the one that's been drinking the lemonade. I'm like, me? Me? How can y'all say it's me? I didn't do nothing. Oh shit, they know. And it came to my realization that they somehow knew. I don't know how they knew, but they knew, you know? And they told me something I'll never forget. They looked at me dead in my eyes and said, hey, James, I hope you didn't drink that lemonade downstairs. Because if you did, I feel bad for you. And I was like, and my heart started pounding and stuff because I'm like, nah, of course I didn't. I didn't even drink it in the first place, but my heart was pounding. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right. Yo, my mom told me that the reason why she hopes I didn't drink that lemonade is because her, actually, and my aunt both peed in the lemonade. Let that sink in real quick. They were so bothered that I was drinking this lemonade that they peed in the lemonade to kind of just get me to stop drinking lemonade in the fridge without asking. Or like going in the fridge for anything without asking, you know? And I was like, why would you do that? Like, I didn't even ask him that because I didn't want to look guilty. I'm like, no, I didn't drink that. And then my stomach just started doing backflips. So I'm like, what? That's what that taste. That's what that taste was. It was pee. Y'all put pee in the lemonade. What's wrong with y'all? What's wrong with y'all? I was hurt, yo. I was hurt. I was like, dang, checkmate. They got my goofy. They got me, man. So, more of the story is I don't trust lemonade anymore, man. I don't know if like the people at the restaurants be having a bad day or something, or if they will ever have a bad day and they decide to just whiz in the lemonade and mask it over with some ice or something, man. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I haven't had lemonade in a long time, and that is the primary reason why. Because after that, I never even considered tasting lemonade ever again. Just not my thing, not my vibe. I'll taste other kinds of juice or whatever, but lemonade specifically, nah. Yeah, dark plot twist. There was no upside to this. There was no, oh, wholesome, oh my God, we're sorry. They really got me, and they were happy. They were laughing and stuff, and I was just like, dang, GG, well played. Woo, child. Anyways, just wanted to get that one off my chest because, you know, it was definitely an interesting story time. Haven't really done story times like this before, but I have a lot of other interesting stories as well. So you guys can kind of see how I've developed into my personality. Wild stuff, but that's pretty much it. I'm going to talk to you guys later. Take care, and love you guys. Peace.